All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Sports Bros. I'm Ethan, joined with Jordan and Danny, replacing Ryan this week. I'm back, first time this semester. I've been busy, but I'm here. And first thing we're going to talk about, guys, Super Bowl Chiefs beating the Eagles 38-35. Patrick Mahomes winning MVP. But I think the biggest takeaway I had from the game is I thought Jalen Hurts actually made a case to be MVP. He had that early fumble, but he I think he just really performed well. Had a few rushing touchdowns too.
Mhm.
Pretty exciting. So what do you guys think about how the Super Bowl kind of went down?
You can start it off.
Sure. I mean, like, I don't know. He was just really impressive. Like, three rushing touchdowns. Like, that's probably not going to be broken for a bit. I mean, like, if he didn't have the fumble, I feel like he would have had a good, case for it. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I
Mhm.
feel like it's just always favored towards the winning team. So it's just so unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reason why he wasn't MVP was because his team did end up losing. But before I get to my point, I just want to say that I feel happy not having to be the host of the show anymore. I'm glad Ethan's back. Good to have you back. And I think the Super Bowl was a really good game. I think Mahomes coming back from his ankle injury, when he re-injured it during the game and then at halftime, he was able to get back, get healthy, go back into the game, and dominate just like Mahomes. As we all know, he can dominate, and he dominated. But I think Jalen Hurts should have won MVP because he got the three rushing touchdowns. He rushed for 70 yards. He had a passing touchdown. Like, you couldn't ask for anything more from Jalen Hurts.
Exactly. And like Danny said, I think it has to go to like the winning team. Like you can't give it to Hurts. Although he did perform, I would argue statistically better. I mean, I think most people would too, but like you said, Jordan, him coming back from that ankle injury, uh almost people were scared. He thought he was going to get sidelined at half and
Mhm.
came back, won the Super Bowl for him. It was, a great effort all around. I do want to point out though, I think Travis Kelsey with this Super Bowl win, he's
The Kelsey Bowl.
the Kelsey Bowl. Yeah, what a headline that was. But I think Kelsey's emerging as, I'm not going to call him the best tight end of all time. Obviously, I think that's Rob Gronkowski, but that's a whole different argument. But I think he's kind of getting close to like that. I'd say he's top five right now. And he could even be top three. I saw a statistic
Of
where
all
he's,
time.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's tough to say, but just his performance, he's already only played in uh, how many Super Bowls? Three, I
At least
think.
three.
I
Yeah.
think at least three. And I saw a statistic. He's second all time in receiving touchdowns in the Super Bowl, only behind Jerry Rice, which is an incredible statistic. He obviously had that receiving touchdown, so it's
Mhm.
something else interesting to note. Um, and then kind of going off halftime. Or actually, let's go to the controversial call at the end of the game. What do you
Mhm.
guys think? Do you think you can call holding there? I mean, me personally, you look at the rule book, it's probably a hold. It was illegal contact, like right at the line of scrimmage, but or like right as he was making his route. But I mean, the stage was just too big for it, and the game was just too good for it to come down to that. I just want to know what you guys think about the call.
I don't know. I mean, it's tough just because, it probably was officially a holding, but it's tough to call on that stage of the game.
Mhm.
But I just feel like with the way Mahomes and the Chiefs were playing, they were going to end up winning anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that take. I think it was too crucial of a moment to have the whole game be decided by a referee call. And I just feel like these referees are so bad nowadays. Like in NBA and NFL, just let them play. Like, it's just so annoying to see games come down to the wire just to have it ruined by a referee call. Now, I think the call was fair. Bradbury did say he was holding on to the player, but at the same time, it's like it happens in the NFL. Like, I feel like he wasn't the only one that whole game that was holding on to receivers. Like, we didn't see it, but it could have happened for both teams. So I think it sucks the way it ended, but it was a great game. And I think Danny's right. Like, I think Mahomes would have ended up winning that game, but it would have been cool to see what Jalen Hurts and the Eagles could have done if they had the ball with another 2 minutes instead of the 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think that would have made the Super Bowl even better. I know it was an absolute shootout, which was, great to see, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you let them kick that field goal with a little over 2 minutes remaining. You still got the 2-minute warning. They still had, I think they had 3 timeouts, either 2 or 3 timeouts. They might have used one, but you still have plenty of time to at least get in field goal range. And yeah, like you guys said, Jalen Hurts could actually have won MVP if he went down, had a game-winning drive.
But back to your point with Travis Kelce, I think it was so amazing to watch how good the Chiefs offense was without Tyreek Hill. In their first year, everyone was saying, "Oh, it's their rebuilding year," and Mahomes and Kelce take the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. And Kelce had a great game. I thought Jason Kelce is the other guy on the
Yep.
Eagles. I thought he had a great game too. And it was just like cool to see like Mama Kelce like get the spotlight for the whole week. So I thought this Super Bowl could go down as like one of the best Super Bowls of all time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think it was just, like I said, like an absolute shootout, high scoring game. That's what everyone wanted to see. It wasn't a repeat of that Rams Patriots Super Bowl where it's like 3-3 at halftime.
Yeah, it was like 10-3 the final score.
Oh, that was awful.
I think like if there wasn't the holding call, then a lot more people would be saying that right now. Like it's one of the best ever.
Yeah, absolutely. The holding call just ruined it.
But even like the halftime show was good too. Like I see people like saying, "Oh, it's so like mid." It was like all right, but I thought overall like the whole night was pretty good. Like the Breaking Bad commercial too. Like I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan, so that was cool to see them back on air. And I just thought it was a really good overall sporting event.
Yeah, I think the Tubi commercial really, if you guys saw that one, that was really screwed with me. And I love seeing
one.
I love seeing the reaction from like all the Chiefs and Eagles fans when it came on. They're just yelling at every family member. I remember there was this like one grandpa who started screaming like, "Get off the remote!" Yeah, and it actually fooled me too because I had to go back early to get ready for. We have lift at 6 a.m, which is tough, but I like just hopped back on because I'm like, this is too good of a game not to watch while I'm getting ready. And I saw the Tubi commercial. I kept refreshing the page. I'm like, wait, why is it doing this? But
no, yeah, I had a bunch of friends over in my dorm room, and like when that commercial happened, I was like screaming at everyone, like, "Where's the remote? Like, who's touching the remote?" And it just ended up being a commercial. So yeah, I thought that like marketing was like really really good on their part.
Yeah.
That is genius marketing because like everyone's talking about it. And yeah, like the halftime show was good. I think it would have been better if Kanye came out for all the lights, but obviously, you never know where Kanye is.
But another point I want to bring up is, do you guys think Patrick Mahomes can catch up to Tom Brady?
No. Danny and I had this discussion actually during the Super Bowl. I don't think. I mean, what has he got? 7? So tough to catch. The longevity of that, and Mahomes only has 2 right now.
Mahomes has 2. I think he's 27.
Yeah, he'd have to play like almost 20 more years to match Brady
and dominate. I just think it's not that I don't think Mahomes is going to keep competing at the level he's competing at. Like I think Patrick Mahomes is going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks in history, like when it's all said and done. But I think the AFC is just so competitive that it's like you got Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, like just to name a few guys, where it's going to be like, can they consistently make the Super Bowl? Because first thing they got to do is make the Super Bowl. Like that's step one. And Brady was able to do that. And I don't think it's going to be replicated. Like same with if you go to basketball, like Jordan versus LeBron, like
Jordan's better.
Hey, I mean, yeah, LeBron. I think LeBron's a better athletically gifted player. I think he's like the best player of all time, but Michael Jordan's the GOAT because he's got the 6 rings. Like, I think it could go down similar with Mahomes being the most talented quarterback of all time. Right now, I'm a little biased, but I say like Aaron Rodgers. Like that's the debate I've been having. But Tom Brady will forever be the GOAT because he's got the rings. Like he's got 7 rings. Like can't beat that. Like Jordan just dominated the East, dominated the NBA. He's got 6 rings, so that's why he's the GOAT because he dominated during his time. So
yeah,
that's how I think it's kind of going to go down, where Mahomes will be the most talented quarterback of all time, but Brady's going to always have to be called the GOAT.
It's like Mahomes is just, I feel like he's almost like the new Brady and just like this top QB threat in the league. But Brady is just always a winner. except when he's playing the Giants. But
Yeah.
The
David
Giants
Tyree.
or the Eagles. I mean, Nick Foles beat him. So I think people are gonna call me crazy. This is another hot take, but I think Eli Manning is better than Tom Brady because Eli Manning beat Tom Brady with those 2 Super Bowls
Oh,
and
actually-
beat him when Brady was undefeated.
Oh, I mean, oh, that's a tough one. I think Rodney Harrison dropped the pick on the last drive
Mm-hmm.
when the David Tyree helmet catch happened.
Yeah.
Then we would have never, heard of that. But
Uh,
Brady would have 8. So, that's an interesting take. I don't even. I was having this debate earlier, like with my relatives, like they don't even think Eli is going to be in the Hall of Fame. I think he
He's
has to
gotta
be.
be.
He's got to be with the rings and everything. But they say talent-wise, he's not going to be. So.
Yeah, I feel like it was a lot. It was a different game back in like Brady, Breeze, Manning, both Manning's eras. It was just like more pocket passing, and nowadays it's like you have great pocket passers, but also they can run the ball, just like Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. He's more of a runner, I would say, but he can also like throw the ball really, really good. Mahomes, it's like a whole different game now.
Yeah, every QB has to be mobile.
Mhm.
Like, then you get the Justin Fields where people say he's a little too mobile, but
Yeah.
I'd say it's kind of turning into, because I saw a take earlier today from, I think he was the former Jets GM who took Mark Sanchez 5th overall, who was like, they should trade Justin Fields and take Bryce Young with the 1st overall pick. I'm like, there's no way. Like the same thing happened with Jalen Hurts, where he's just getting criticized like throughout his career. And now look at him. Like he's going to be,
Yeah.
I think after the Super Bowl, you can argue he's a top 5 quarterback in the league,
Mhm.
like for sure. So, and also going back to the Super Bowl, just, I mean, commercials were great. I mean, it's just,
Mhm.
overall, I think a really good Super Bowl.
I also loved how Jalen Hurts took the loss after the game too.
Mhm.
Like in the post press conference, I guess you can. That's what it is. Post press conference. He was asked by like this little girl, what would you take from away from this loss? And then Jalen Hurts was like, you can either like shy away from the moment or like step up again and take what you learned. Something along those lines. So I think Jalen Hurts is a great role model, and I think it's time to like give him the respect he deserves. And I think he had a really good case for winning MVP. So I'm excited to see how the Eagles can continue to play for years to come, because I think they're a really good team.
Yeah, I mean, I think like Bradbury, Hurts, Kelsey, they all handled it really well. I mean, I just feel like the only thing that would have made that Super Bowl better is like I saw this edit on Instagram of as if like that AJ Brown touchdown happened at the very end of the game as like a game-winning touchdown. That would have been crazy. But
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
would have been iconic. Also, I was going to talk about post Super Bowl. Did you guys see the Juju tweeting out at Bradbury? I forgot what the exact tweet was, but he said something like, I forgot. It was like something about a ring or like, and then AJ Brown just tweeted
Oh
back
wait,
and
yeah,
just
that's right. I do remember that.
yeah, absolutely roasted him, saying like,
Uh-huh.
calm down, TikTok boy.
Yeah.
Like
Sort of, like,
Mahomes,
holding too, right?
yeah, like Mahomes resurrected your career.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting and just kind of, I mean, I guess it just shows Juju's character. Like,
Yeah.
you can, kind of rubbed it in his face. Bradbury was humbled enough to say it was a holding.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, as a fan of, or who didn't really have a side, like I would have preferred the Eagles to win, but I don't mind that the Chiefs won. I think it was just overall not a good look for Juju to tweet
No, yeah.
that.
I think Juju and Jackson Mahomes are gonna have like so much fun with their little TikTok dances together.
Yeah, that's the only reason I didn't want the Chiefs to win is because now we're gonna see that.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, like, I feel like Juju wasn't even a huge part of their win.
No,
Like,
yeah.
It wasn't. No.
I don't know. I feel like Andy Reid might have been the biggest part. Like they had 2 touchdowns on basically the same route.
Mhm.
Exactly. And like the entire season too. Like you look down at his stats all year.
I thought Juju was super quiet until the
Super
Super
quiet.
Bowl. I mean, he stepped up.
He did
good in
have
the
a big
Super Bowl,
game,
but-
but like, you have Kelsey just dominating all year.
Yeah.
You have Jerick McKinnon doing really well. Kadarius Toney even had a few plays toward the end. I'm sorry about him not panning out for the
This
Giants,
is very strange.
but yeah, it was overall, yeah, I'd say,
Mhm.
definitely a good Super Bowl. And yeah, glad we got to cover that, and glad we got to all witness another good one, and not a 0-3 game or just an
Mhm.
offensive battle.
So who do you guys think right now? I know it's like super early in this season just ended, but who would you say are like the top title contenders for next NFL season?
I mean, I'd say Chiefs Eagles. You already got to put them there.
Mhm.
I think Bills are gonna still be solid. Same with the Bengals. Cowboys honestly don't look bad either. Like I feel like they're just a couple pieces away. They're new head coach away from actually making a push. I don't think
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy's the answer.
I think the Jets too.
The it's just depends who they get at
They're super
quarterback.
young, but
There talks about, Derek Carr is actually gonna visit the Jets. They're talking Lamar Jackson to the Jets too,
what
or
about your guy Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. I think Rodgers is staying, but
I don't know.
we'll see. I mean, even if he doesn't, like, I won't be mad because I am kind of excited to see how Jordan Love would do. Plus, it frees up so much cap space. Plus, we actually re-signed Aaron Jones today, which was awesome. I love having Aaron Jones on the team. I think, with our lack of receivers, he just, AJ Dillon's not a great receiving back. He's more of a bruiser. So, gives Rodgers or Love, whoever's at quarterback, just another weapon outside of Christian Watson.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like right now the Bengals, Bills, Chiefs, and Eagles are just a level above, and then there's a bunch of teams that like could make it there next season. But I mean, after like how unexpected the whole Russell Wilson experiment went, I feel like they just got to prove it first.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen. Like, well, we'll have to see.
I would like Derek Carr to be on the Jets. I think he would be a really good fit. But
I think Garoppolo would be cool too.
Jimmy
Garoppolo,
G.
yeah.
I like Jimmy G. But it's excited to I'm excited to see what happens. And last offseason was crazy with all their moves. So I can't wait to see how crazy this offseason is going to be as well.
Yeah, same here. I'm excited for the draft too. Packers actually have a high draft pick this year for the first time like ever. So I'm excited.
I bet they take a quarterback.
Backup quarterback. I remember I heard someone make a joke to Aaron Rodgers that like like asking him to define insurance, and he started doing it, and the guy was like, "Oh, so insurance is kind of like drafting a quarterback in the first round just in case." I just thought that was funny. But yeah, now I guess we can move on to the NBA talk since All-Star game is this weekend. We want to cover, I think we should cover the trade deadline first because that already happened, came and went. The big headline obviously being Kevin Durant to the Suns. We'll see. I mean, it's giving me, I already had this conversation with Danny, but it's kind of giving me, KD Warriors vibes a little bit. Like you got Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, and now Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And they gave up a lot, but if the Suns are going to make a push, like now's the time. So I don't hate the move, but now it's they got to win it this year. Basically, they went all in. So I think that was the most. I think that was the most shocking, to be honest. I did not see.
No, yeah, well, because I think he did that so quietly. Like Kyrie Irving was like vocal about it, but then Durant, he was hurt, so you couldn't really like see him on the court due to his injury. But then all of a sudden, Irving leaves, and then 2 days later, just Durant leaves as well. But I'm excited to see how the Suns can play, and like I really want Chris Paul to win the ring. So
yeah, I mean, like after the Kyrie trade, I felt like they got pieces back that they were going to like use to try to compete this year, and then the Durant trade just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
but I feel like it sets the Nets up really well for the future still. Because,
I think it does too. Yeah,
the picks are so far away. Like I don't know, like the Spurs and the Rockets are bottom of the league right now, but years ago they were at the top anyway. And like I would have loved their picks then.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they got Mikal Bridges too, right, out of the trade.
Mikal Bridges. They got Spencer Dinwiddie back.
Yeah.
I have an internship with the Nets, and it was cool because like for the first 2 months I was like, oh, like the Nets are probably gonna go and win the championship, and now we're gonna be like 5 years apart, five years back from like winning a championship. But hopefully they can still compete and make it into the playoffs at least.
Yeah, or they just tank for Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they're too far ahead
I-
now.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
All-Star breaks what, like the halfway mark, over the halfway mark of the NBA season. So
yeah.
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 I mean, the Nets are still in like 4th or 5th in the conference, so they're
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
mid team. But
They just lose every game on purpose.
if they lose every game, that would be sickening.
Cam Thomas is looking really good though.
He is.
yeah.
That's
Exciting.
that's gonna be awesome.
Him and Mikal Bridges are playing really good. I think Mikal
Yeah.
Bridges dropped like 40 plus
Yeah.
one of the most recent games. So I'm excited to see how they play with Dinwiddie and Claxton. I think Nick Claxton is most improved player. I
He's been
think he's
awesome,
going
yeah.
off.
I think they'll make the playoffs.
Mhm.
Like obviously, like I was just joking about the women, yeah. But like I think the Nets are definitely like they've got the pieces.
Yeah.
Like Danny said, they're set up for the future. Like now we'll see. Obviously, the Harden, Durant, Kyrie experiment didn't work,
yeah.
but it's not like they lost too much either. Like it's not like they went all in with all their picks. Like they still got a lot back. So
Mhm.
um,
They were gonna beat your Bucks if Durant's foot was a little bit
they
smaller.
would have. Just like we would have beaten the Celtics last year if Chris Middleton played. But and yeah, going back to the Chris Paul situation, like if the Bucks don't make the finals, I'd like to get him to get a ring because we already stole one from him, which was
Yeah.
very, very sweet. Sorry, Chris Paul, but Giannis needed a ring. And I guess so. Yeah, let's go over like the other stuff that happened at the trade deadline. Obviously, Kyrie and Luka is going to be very exciting to watch. I think yesterday I think it was a couple days ago actually. Seeing D'Angelo Russell back on the Lakers playing
Mhm.
with
That was cool.
playing with LeBron, like they just seem to have a chemistry, and it looks, they actually played really well. So I'm excited to see how the Lakers do actually. LeBron. Longevity's even a question, although he's still playing at such a high level. Like he's
Yeah.
only got so many more years left until Bronny makes the league, basically.
Mhm.
So he wants to win more rings, man, and he's got the talent, but he just needs the right guys to go with him. I think D'Angelo Russell has shown that he can be that guy too. So
I think D'Angelo Russell is very underrated
mhm.
when you look at the point guard positions in the NBA. I think he can shoot the ball really well, and he can find like open teammates too. So I think he's a great offensive point guard. And if I was the Nets, I would tank in a couple years, get Bronny James with the #1 pick, and then automatically just LeBron will come to your team because he wants to play with Bronny, and then
Yeah.
hopefully Bronny and LeBron can win the championship. I think that would be very cool. It's like Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. playing together. So
Yeah.
hopefully it actually happens for Bronny James and LeBron.
I think Bronny like just got an offer from Nike the other day or something.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's crazy.
isn't it NIL something like that with Bronny?
Yeah, it might be.
But I think Bronny James is gonna be like #1 headline when it comes to the draft,
Mhm.
which kind of stinks because maybe there's other good players, but just like his name alone is probably gonna give him like a top 5 pick.
Yeah. My brother is actually really good friends with this guy who goes to a high school right by my hometown, and he's actually rated higher than Bronny on the
Really?
ESPN top 100 list. Yeah, he's like 6'8" though. He's like committed to Iowa State, and he's just
That's cool.
yeah, he's just a machine. So, but yeah, I think just because his dad's LeBron, I think Bronny's still a very talented player, but yeah,
No.
his dad being LeBron James is gonna make him, the biggest headline in the draft for sure. Just other trade deadline stuff, I guess, Jay Crowder to the Bucks, that's not huge, but I think, worthy of a mention just because the Bucks are contenders.
Yeah, I feel like it's a really good pickup.
I like it. He actually went to Marquette, which is in Milwaukee, so he's coming back home. Yeah, really do like Jay Crowder. I think it just gives us a presence that we need, especially with Middleton. You never know if he's going to be on the court or not. I think Crowder's going to be a starter on our team too. Like it'll be Drew Holiday, who we'll talk about it soon because he made the All-Star game as a reserve. Thank goodness. One of the most underrated defensive players in the league, I think. So him, Middleton, Crowder, Giannis, Brook Lopez, looking like a good starting 5. So.
That is a good starting 5. Yeah, I think the Bucks can go pretty far in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook on the Jazz though, that should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Westbrook's overrated a lot, but he is like the triple double monster. So I want to see how he can play being like a leader for the Jazz team.
Yeah, like I was thinking he might be like bought out and go to like some contenders like a backup, but I kind of want him just to stay in the Jazz and like just get, I don't know, get like his value up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also for the Knicks, they got Josh Hart, which was
that's
college
really-
teammate with Jalen Brunson in Villanova. So I think the Knicks would be really good to watch for the rest of the season as well. So hopefully the Knicks can make some moves too when it comes to the postseason.
Yeah. So got Randall, you know.
He's in the 3-point contest.
I can't
Really?
believe
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
I saw that and I was stunned. I'm
He's
like,
replacing Anthony Simmons.
it's crazy.
I think like the NBA All-Star like competitions are just like so dumb nowadays.
The
Also
dunk
like
contest,
Pro
too, it's like-
Bowl.
Yeah.
It's like they don't give us what we like actually want. I feel like flag football for the Pro Bowl is so bad to watch, and like dunk contests. Like I would love to see Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon like always run it back, but they don't really
like
do it as
Ja
well.
this year would
Ja
have been
would be
awesome.
cool, yeah.
They've got Mac McClung, a G
Yeah.
League player, playing for the Sixers. Like that's like nobody
Mhm.
wants to do the dunk contest, which is a shame. But I will say, I think the 3-point contest is actually going to be entertaining because
Yeah.
you've got good names like you got Tyler Hero in there, the Milwaukee native. Love Tyler Hero. I think Kevin Huerter too is going to be funny to watch because he's actually got a shot to win it too. I think he's one of the most underrated 3-point shooters in the league, and I think he's going to be solid. You got Julius Randle, who that's going to be interesting. I don't know how good of a 3-point shooter he is, but I guess he's not terrible if he's in the 3-point contest. So
I think he's like mid to high 30s in percentage.
oh yeah, so not bad.
Not terrible.
And then Tyrese Halliburton, another Wisconsin native in the
Mhm.
3-point contest. So I've got a lot of hometown bias in this 3-point contest.
So it looks like you're gonna be watching that
Oh,
3-point
yeah.
contest.
Yeah, my high school actually played we actually played Tyrese Halliburton for the state championship. I only played like 3 minutes in that game, but hey, still I played against Tyler Hero and Tyrese Halliburton, so it's
Wow,
pretty cool.
that's cool.
I'm glad he's on the Pacers now.
Yeah,
Showing out.
yeah, he's doing so
Also-
well. Yeah, I think the Kings weren't like the greatest fit for him.
Yeah, just him and De'Aaron didn't work well together.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think he needs to be more like that point guard kind of role. So, but going to the All-Star game, we got Giannis and LeBron's two captains. No real surprises there. Obviously, it stinks. KD's going to be injured. It's not obviously it's just an offensive game. Like nobody's going to be really playing any defense.
Mhm.
But I want to get your guys' biggest snub. Who do you think was snubbed the most out of the All-Star game? I think Harden has been playing really well. I think that's someone that I saw on the list. Like we see like Tyrese Halliburton's in it. Like I love Tyrese Halliburton. He's been so good, but like statistically with Harden doing so well, like that's one where like a lot of fans were questioning that. So in my opinion, I'd say, there's a number of them, but I'd say Harden's the one that kind of stood out to me. So.
Mhm.
I mean, I'd probably say Harden too, but I'm not upset with the picks at all. Like I'm pretty happy with them. Like there were a few I feel like you could consider busts, but I think they were all pretty close. And I really liked Halliburton, so I'm pretty happy he's in.
Yeah, same here.
I think you could have gave it to Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler is always balling out for the Heat, and I think the way he plays the game, it's like I don't see anyone else with that much like motivation and like drive to win the game like Jimmy Butler. So I'm a huge Jimmy Butler fan, so stinks to not see him in the All-Star game, but you can like argue that there was other players that have been better than him this season, so I can see why he was off the All-Star game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Anthony Edwards too has been balling
Yeah.
out, and Trae Young.
Trae Young was another one. Yeah.
hmm
So
I think Trae Young in the 3-point contest would have been cool. Trae
That
Young
would-
against
yeah.
Steph Curry.
that would have been awesome. So
And
Like-
it's like I know it might have been partially due to injury, but Anthony Davis got snubbed too, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
he did. That's
I
another
don't know.
big one. And yes, people were even saying like Drew Holiday over them, but hey, Drew's in the All-Star game. I mean, I think he deserved it. It's his first appearance too. Like after like all his years of being, because he's just defensive minded. Like he's not really the greatest offensive threat, but like, and defense doesn't get all the glamour in the world. And I think it's that's the one I think I'm most happy about Drew Holiday getting in. because even taking away my Bucks bias, because I'm a Bucks fan,
Mhm.
like I think if I would have looked at the list and saw Drew Holiday in, I would have been like, that's someone he's been in the league for a while. He's just been playing at a high level for a while, and obviously, he's got a ring too. I think he deserved to make it for sure. And I don't think did Booker make it? Booker, I don't know.
I don't think so, but he was hurt.
It's
so I don't
because
know.
he was
not,
hurt.
no.
Yeah.
But I'm a big Zion Williamson hater. I think Zion Williamson is so overrated. Like he was great in college, but then all of a sudden, like the NBA, like he just hasn't been the same. And while he is an all-star and that he is good, I just don't like Zion Williamson. I think he's not really a great like shooter. He is more of like a paint dominant person, which is like great to have on your team, but I don't know. I'm just not a big Zion Williamson fan.
I mean, it's weird for me because I'm a Duke fan, but I will say, like, I was surprised to see him as a starter.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But then also, like, I don't know exactly who I would have given it to instead. Like, I don't know, is it Larry Markkinen then?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, we
Mhm.
get to see because Katie's injured. Spicy P made it too. That's awesome. But yeah, I think I don't know. I guess I'm looking forward to the 3-point contest the most. Like you said though, it's kind of like the Pro Bowl where it's if the biggest names would play, like
Mhm.
it would just make it so much better. And there's actually debate for a one-on-one contest because they thought all the star players would be playing. And I was like, there's no chance because imagine someone like it was like Giannis and LeBron. Like if those two went head to head one-on-one and like LeBron won or like Giannis won, like the person who lost
Mhm.
would just not want like
It was just not
if
wanna
you're
be
getting
out there.
compared to like who's a better player, like nobody wants to be on the losing end of that.
Yeah.
Because then it's like you'll never be able to have an argument for you're a better player because it's like, oh, you lost one-on-one to this guy. Like,
Mhm.
so I think the concept's cool, but I don't think it'll ever
Maybe
happen.
like a 2v2.
Maybe a 2v2. Yeah,
That
that
you
actually
can be like,
could-
oh well, like my teammate was terrible, not me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just like a more fun version of it. Like I know NHL had like a shootout competition and they put Crosby and Ovechkin on the same team for it. So
Mhm.
and then like
Yeah.
brought out of his son too.
I think NHL is like very underrated with like their all-star break. I'm a big like hockey fan, and I think hockey doesn't get like the hype it deserves compared to like the other sports.
Mhm.
But I can see why people like don't watch it, but I think hockey should be like a top sport as well.
I've never watched hockey, which stinks because like I've always kind of wanted to get into it because like I'm from the Midwest, so I can actually like ice skate. So
Mhm.
like I see people playing hockey all the time. It's just tough because like Milwaukee doesn't have a NHL team, and
Yeah.
it'd feel weird if I root for the Blackhawks because that's Chicago.
Or like the Minnesota
Or yeah, I really
Wild.
like the Minnesota
Yeah.
Wild too. So it's
Mhm.
like, and then I feel like a bandwagoner if I did like someone like the Boston Bruins or like
Yeah.
I guess I could be Islanders. I
You
don't
could
know.
be Rangers.
Yeah.
Or Ranger. I
looking
guess
pretty
Ranger.
good, yeah.
Rangers looking
Well,
really
Islanders
good.
are Long Island, yeah, and Rangers are like New York City, right?
Like
So
Manhattan,
yeah. So I guess I'd be a Rangers
yeah.
fan.
Mhm.
Like,
People always ask me why I'm a Ranger fan because I'm from Long Island, but I just feel like Ranger fans have more class than Islander fans, and I think their history for the Rangers is much better than the Islanders. Like the Islanders had that crazy dominant run, but I think Rangers have better players all the time than the Islanders.
Yeah.
No, but back to NBA. Who do you guys think is gonna win the title?
You want to go first on this one, Dan?
Sure. I mean, it's just really tough. I mean, I don't really know what to say about the Suns, like before you've actually seen them all together. But
Mhm.
I mean, I gotta say they have a good shot. I mean, like the Kings are up there, but I don't really think they're gonna make it. Same thing with the Grizzlies, really. I could imagine it being like Suns Bucks again, honestly.
I'd like to see that. I mean, I'd like to see the Bucks in the finals, regardless. I think I'll just split it up between East and West. I think in the East it's going to be between the Celtics and the Bucks, and I don't really see another team right now making a push. Like maybe the Sixers because Embiid's playing at such a high level, but again, I don't know if they have the depth to actually make a deep playoff run. So I'd say that's in the East, and to me, like the West is just up for grabs. Like it would be easy to say, yeah, the Suns. Obviously, they're a contender now, but like we still have to see how Kevin Durant plays with Booker, CP3, Ayton. I think he'll still play well with them, but we still have to see. So
I
I'd
mean,
say
the Mavericks could put it
Suns, the
together.
Mavs is another team. I mean, because Luka's just so dominant, and
Yeah.
Kyrie's actually been playing well too.
Also the Celtics. Celtics just
Celtics.
find ways to win like any game.
Yeah, they almost beat the Bucks without like any of their starters. Actually, they took us to OT,
Yeah.
which is like they've got good depth. Like definitely the Celtics and the Bucks. But yeah, like you said, Danny, Suns, you got to give it to them. The Mavs too.
Nuggets top. The
Nuggets
Western
can't ever
Conference.
count the Warriors out, in my opinion.
I mean, Warriors.
They're
right
not looking
now
great
are
right now,
ninth,
but hey, they didn't look great.
They haven't
Yeah.
been great on the road. And
Yeah.
If they're a lower seed, that's going to be scary.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's a very good point.
I think the biggest question marks are like the Mavs and the Suns. Because right now I'm looking at the standings and the Suns are 5th and the Mavericks are 6th. So Suns have a lot of question marks. Like how can Devin Booker play with Durant? What can Durant bring? Mavericks, it's like Kyrie Irving and Luka have been playing pretty good so far, but I think Luka and Kyrie are not going to play out well in the long run. Because I think they're both ball heavy, dominant like guards in the
Mhm.
league. And I think Luka always needs to have the ball, and so does Kyrie. And I remember like during the last minute or like the last 30 seconds of a game, like they didn't know like who to have to shoot it, and they kept on passing it back from like Luka to Kyrie, and then they didn't end up putting a shot up. So it's like who's gonna be the star leader? Is it gonna be Luka or Kyrie? So I'm excited to see how like which one of them steps up.
Yeah, it's like at the same time, like I don't know, it was tough at the end of the game, but I also kind of like the idea of just having another ball handler, like when Luka's out of the game, or like I don't know, Jalen Brunson was really good for them last year. He's gone now, and I feel like Kyrie fills those shoes and even more now.
Yeah. How about Mark Cuban saying he's got Kyrie's the second best ball handler behind Luka? I was like, I think Kyrie's like handles are probably like one of the best we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's tough to say
yeah.
for Mark Cuban. I know he's got to back Luka, but like,
I just think ever since he left the Nets in that way, I'm just like a big Kyrie hater now, and also since he drained that shot over the Warriors for the Cavs to win the championship.
that was awesome.
It's like-
I'm sorry, but that was awesome. Heck of a shot.
It was a crazy like final 3 minutes of the final. So
It was like the Kevin Love
I'm not
stop
even
and
mad.
everything.
LeBron blocked.
Yeah.
LeBron blocked when he ran like 30 miles per hour, and
that
he's
was crazy.
just like lightning quick.
But
He's
Iguodala could have just
insane.
laid it up.
Yeah. Warriors really choked that one. But what was I gonna say? I think Kyrie Irving is not that great of a leader. So I can see like if Kyrie gets mad at Luka or if Luka gets mad at Kyrie, like a fight breaking out between them. So hopefully everything stays well for them. Cause I want to see how they end up like doing for the final in the postseason, but I don't think it's gonna play out well for them.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, I guess we can wrap it up there. Good talk, guys. I mean, NFL, NBA, it's gonna kind of stink with no regular season games going on, no NFL for a while. MLB still got to start up, so
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of a dry time in sports. But
We got hockey.
we got hockey, and we got the All-Star break, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely a good ending to the NFL season, and we'll see. I guess like the second half of the NBA season. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I'm looking forward to baseball starting soon.
Mm-hmm.
Ish. I mean, still got like a month and a half, but that'll be
coming up.
exciting. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys, as always, for joining me. And these are the Sports Bros signing out.